Consider for a moment the simple act of breathing. Reflect on the dual nature of this vital process. Do you breathe or are you breathed? When you consciously focus on your breath, it feels as if you are in control, just like thinking or walking. But if you forget about it, breathing continues effortlessly without any need for intervention. This seamless transition between the voluntary and involuntary aspects of breathing is a fundamental insight in meditation practices. Breathing exercises are a cornerstone of meditation in the Orient. Because they reveal a profound truth, there is no clear separation between what we do voluntarily and what happens to us involuntarily. When we perceive these experiences as separate, we create an artificial divide between self and other. But in reality, they are inseparable, like the two sides of a coin. This understanding is key to freeing the mind from the illusion of duality. To explore this concept further, let's delve into the very mechanics of breathing. When you breathe in, you can do so with intention, drawing air into your lungs consciously. You can feel your chest rise, the expansion of your diaphragm, the rush of air filling your lungs. You might even count your breaths or synchronize them with your movements or thoughts. This voluntary control gives you a sense of agency, a feeling that you are directing the flow of your life force. However, let us not forget what happens when you shift your attention away from your breath. Without any conscious effort, your body continues to breathe. Your autonomic nervous system, a marvel of biological engineering, takes over, ensuring that the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide happens seamlessly. This involuntary process keeps you alive and functioning without requiring your attention or effort. Now, this interplay between voluntary and involuntary actions is not limited to breathing. It extends to numerous aspects of our existence. Consider the act of thinking. At times we engage in deliberate thought, focusing our minds on solving a problem, making a decision, or planning our day. Yet our minds also wander, generating thoughts spontaneously, without our conscious direction. This stream of consciousness flows effortlessly, like breathing when we forget to pay attention to it. Similarly, our bodies perform countless functions involuntarily. Our hearts beat, our digestive systems process food, our cells regenerate, all without our conscious involvement. We grow, heal, and sustain life through processes that occur beyond the realm of our voluntary control. This intricate dance of voluntary and involuntary actions is a testament to the interconnectedness of our being. In meditation, we use breathing exercises to bridge the gap between the voluntary and involuntary. By focusing on our breath, we cultivate awareness of this seamless integration. We begin to see that our sense of self, often defined by what we consciously do, is deeply intertwined with the vast array of involuntary processes that sustain us. This realization can be profoundly liberating. When we meditate, we often start by paying attention to our breath. We observe its rhythm, its texture, its ebb and flow. We might practice techniques like deep diaphragmatic breathing, alternate nostril breathing, or simply mindful observation of each inhalation and exhalation. As we do so, we become more attuned to the natural rhythm of our breath, and in turn, the natural rhythm of life itself. Through this practice, we come to understand that our sense of agency and control is but one aspect of our existence. The involuntary processes that sustain us are equally vital and integral to our being. This understanding dissolves the artificial boundaries we create between what we consider to be within our control and what lies beyond it. It reveals the interconnectedness of our voluntary and involuntary experiences, fostering a sense of unity and wholeness. Consider for a moment the simple act of breathing. Reflect on the dual nature of this vital process. Do you breathe or are you breathed? When you consciously focus on your breath, it feels as if you are in control, just like thinking or walking. But if you forget about it, breathing continues effortlessly, without any need for intervention. This seamless transition between the voluntary and involuntary aspects of breathing is a fundamental insight in meditation practices. In the Orient, breathing exercises are a cornerstone of meditation. Because they reveal a profound truth, there is no clear separation between what we do voluntarily and what happens to us involuntarily. When we perceive these experiences as separate, we create an artificial divide between self and other. But in reality, they are inseparable, like the two sides of a coin. This understanding is key to freeing the mind from the illusion of duality. From an early age, we are taught to distinguish between self and other. We identify with our voluntary actions and view the involuntary as external forces acting upon us. This creates a chasm between what we perceive as our internal self and the external world. However, this dichotomy is an illusion. Self and other are interdependent and mutually necessary. Think of the relationship between the front and back of a coin. They are distinct yet inseparable aspects of the same entity. Similarly, the experience of self and the experience of other are polarities that define each other. You cannot understand the concept of self without the notion of other, and vice versa. They are like the north and south poles of a magnet, intrinsically linked and essential to each other's existence. As children, we are not taught this intrinsic interconnectedness. Instead, we are led to see ourselves as strangers in the world, separate from the earth and its natural rhythms. This creates a deep sense of alienation and a perception that the external world is an unfeeling, mechanical force that must be controlled and dominated. This outlook fosters a pervasive sense of fear and isolation, as we believe we must protect ourselves from the overwhelming vastness of the universe. This alienation is a significant social problem, as it disconnects us from the very source of our being. We fail to recognize that we are not just inhabitants of the earth, but symptoms of it, manifestations of the universe's ongoing creation. Let's shift our perspective to a cosmic scale. Imagine the theory that the universe began with a massive explosion, the Big Bang, billions of years ago. This event is not just a distant memory, but an ongoing process. We are living in the midst of this cosmic explosion, like intricate patterns forming at the edges of a splash of ink. Consider the ink analogy when you throw a bottle of ink against a wall. The initial impact creates a dense center with intricate curlicues at the edges. We are the curlicues, the beautiful, complex manifestations at the fringes of the original cosmic bang. To see ourselves as separate from this event is merely a matter of perspective. We are not products of the Big Bang, we are active participants in it, continuously evolving and unfolding. Our societal structures, including education and psychotherapy, often reinforce the illusion of separateness. Education, with its rigid frameworks, tends to complicate our natural instincts. To navigate these complexities, we turn to psychotherapy, seeking to unravel the knots tied by our upbringing. However, many therapeutic approaches fail to acknowledge a fundamental truth: we are integral parts of the universe. Historical assumptions, particularly those from the 19th century, view the universe as a blind, mechanical process and humanity as a mere fluke. These outdated views have influenced modern psychotherapy, perpetuating the myth that we are isolated beings in a hostile universe. This pervasive myth, the belief that the universe is an automatic, purposeless mechanism, shapes our worldview. It suggests that human consciousness and values are accidental anomalies in an otherwise indifferent cosmos. This perspective breeds a sense of existential futility and alienation, as we see ourselves as insignificant specks in an unfeeling void. But this view is nothing more than a myth, a way of striking an attitude towards life. It is a construct, not an absolute truth. Recognizing this frees us from the confines of this limiting belief and opens us to the possibility of seeing the universe as a dynamic, interconnected whole of which we are an integral part. To free your mind, begin by challenging the artificial boundaries between self and other. Embrace the notion that you are not separate from the universe, but a manifestation of it. This shift in perspective can transform your sense of identity and belonging. Engage in practices that cultivate this awareness. Meditation, particularly those focusing on the breath, can help dissolve the illusion of duality. As you breathe, recognize the seamless flow between the voluntary and involuntary, and extend this understanding to all aspects of your life. Question the societal narratives that reinforce the sense of separation. Seek knowledge and experiences that reveal the interconnectedness of all things. By doing so, you will begin to see the world not as a collection of isolated parts, but as a vibrant, interdependent whole. Liberation comes from the realization that you are not a stranger in the universe, but an expression of it. This understanding dissolves the fear and alienation that arise from seeing the world as an external force. Instead, you begin to experience a profound sense of belonging and harmony with the cosmos. This journey of self-realization is not about achieving something new, but remembering a truth that has always been. It is about seeing through the illusions and myths that have clouded your perception and reconnecting with the intrinsic unity of existence. Breathing is a complex process involving multiple systems and organs working in harmony. The primary organs involved are the lungs, which act as the main site for gas exchange, allowing oxygen to enter the bloodstream and carbon dioxide to be expelled. The diaphragm, a dome-shaped muscle located below the lungs, plays a crucial role in controlling the flow of air into and out of the lungs. During inhalation, the diaphragm contracts and moves downward, creating a vacuum that pulls air into the lungs. During exhalation, the diaphragm relaxes and moves upward, pushing air out of the lungs. The autonomic nervous system regulates the involuntary aspects of breathing. It consists of two main components: the sympathetic nervous system, which prepares the body for fight or flight responses and can cause faster, shallower breathing, and the parasympathetic nervous system, which promotes rest and digest responses, leading to slower, deeper breathing. Together, these systems ensure that breathing adapts to the body's needs without requiring conscious effort. Breathing is unique because it can be both a voluntary and involuntary action. We can consciously control our breath, taking deep, slow breaths or holding our breath if needed. However, even when we are not thinking about it, our body continues to breathe automatically. This dual nature of breathing allows us to influence our physiological state through conscious breath control, while ensuring that our body's oxygen needs are met without conscious thought. Different breathing patterns can have various physiological effects. Deep, slow breathing can activate the parasympathetic nervous system, promoting relaxation and reducing stress. Shallow, rapid breathing, on the other hand, can activate the sympathetic nervous system, preparing the body for action. Rhythmic breathing patterns, such as those used in meditation and yoga, can help synchronize the body's systems and promote a sense of balance and harmony. Breath has been recognized as the life force in many philosophical and spiritual traditions. In ancient India, the concept of prana, the vital life force, is closely associated with breath. Prana is believed to permeate the universe, and breath is seen as a way to tap into this universal energy. Similarly, in Chinese philosophy, qi or qi is the vital energy that flows through all living things, and breath control is essential for cultivating and balancing qi. In Hinduism, the practice of pranayama involves controlling the breath to enhance physical, mental, and spiritual well-being. Various techniques, such as nadi shodhana, alternate nostril breathing, and kapalabhati, skull shining breath, are used to purify the mind and body, increase vitality, and prepare for deeper states of meditation. Buddhism also emphasizes the importance of breath awareness. Anapanasati, or mindfulness of breath, is a foundational practice in many Buddhist traditions. By focusing on the breath, practitioners cultivate mindfulness and insight into the nature of reality, leading to greater wisdom and enlightenment. In Taoism, breath is seen as a means to harmonize with the Tao, the fundamental principle that underlies and unites all of existence. Taoist practices such as Qigong and Tai Chi incorporate breath control to cultivate internal energy, improve health, and achieve spiritual harmony. The significance of breath is not limited to Eastern philosophies. In ancient Greek philosophy, the concept of pneuma referred to the breath of life, a vital force that sustains living beings. Philosophers such as Plato and Aristotle recognized the importance of breath in maintaining physical and mental well-being. In modern Western thought, the connection between breath and consciousness has been explored in various fields, including psychology, neuroscience, and mindfulness-based therapies. Techniques such as breath-focused meditation and breathwork have gained popularity for their ability to reduce stress, enhance mental clarity, and promote overall well-being. Meditation is a practice that involves focusing the mind and cultivating a state of deep awareness and concentration. It has been practiced for thousands of years across different cultures and traditions with various techniques and approaches. At its core, meditation is about developing a heightened state of consciousness and a deeper connection with oneself and the world. One of the most common and accessible forms of meditation is breath awareness. By focusing on the breath, practitioners anchor their attention in the present moment, allowing the mind to become calm and centered. Techniques such as anapanasati, mindfulness of breath, involve observing the natural flow of the breath, noticing its rhythm, texture, sensations. The benefits of breath awareness in meditation are numerous. It helps to quiet the mind, reduce mental chatter, and cultivate a sense of inner peace. It also enhances mindfulness, allowing practitioners to develop greater awareness of their thoughts, emotions, and bodily sensations. Over time, breath awareness can lead to deeper states of meditation, where the mind becomes still and profound insights arise. Mindfulness is the practice of paying attention to the present moment with non-judgmental awareness. Breath awareness is a fundamental aspect of mindfulness practices, as it serves as an anchor to the present moment. By focusing on the breath, practitioners cultivate a state of mindful presence, allowing them to fully experience each moment as it unfolds. Mindfulness practices, such as mindful breathing, body scan meditation, and mindful walking, all incorporate breath awareness as a way to cultivate mindfulness. These practices have been shown to reduce stress, improve mental clarity, and enhance overall well-being. By integrating breath awareness into daily life, individuals can develop a greater sense of presence, clarity, and inner peace. Yoga is a holistic practice that encompasses physical postures, breath control, meditation, and ethical principles. Breath control, known as pranayama, is a central aspect of yoga practice. Pranayama techniques involve regulating the breath to enhance physical vitality, mental clarity, and spiritual growth. There are various pranayama techniques, each with its unique benefits. For example, Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breathing, is believed to balance the energy channels in the body, while Kapalabhati skull, shining breath, is invigorating and purifying. Through regular practice, these techniques can help to harmonize the body, mind, and spirit. Breath control is also a crucial component of martial arts practices. In disciplines such as Tai Chi, Karate, and Aikido, breath is used to enhance focus, power, and coordination. By synchronizing breath with movement, practitioners cultivate a state of flow and heightened awareness. In Tai Chi, for example, the practice involves slow, flowing movements coordinated with deep rhythmic breathing. This promotes relaxation, balance, and the cultivation of internal energy. In Karate, breath control is used to generate power and precision in strikes and movements. Aikido emphasizes the integration of breath and movement to achieve harmony and balance in both physical and mental aspects. Indigenous cultures around the world have long recognized the significance of breath in their rituals and healing practices. Breath is seen as a bridge between the physical and spiritual realms, a means to connect with the natural world and the unseen forces that shape it. In Native American traditions, breath is often incorporated into rituals and ceremonies to invoke spiritual guidance and healing. The act of breathing deeply and intentionally is believed to open channels of communication with the spirit world and to cleanse and purify the mind and body. Similarly, in many African and Aboriginal cultures, breath plays a central role in healing practices. Breathwork techniques are used to release emotional blockages, restore balance, and connect with ancestral wisdom. These practices reflect a deep understanding of the interconnectedness of breath, spirit, and well-being. The neuroscience of breath explores how breathing affects the brain and nervous system. Research has shown that breath control can influence brain activity, modulate stress responses, and enhance cognitive function. By consciously regulating the breath, we can activate the parasympathetic nervous system, promoting relaxation and reducing stress. Studies using neuroimaging techniques have demonstrated that breath-focused meditation can increase activity in areas of the brain associated with attention, emotional regulation, and self-awareness. This suggests that breath awareness can enhance cognitive function and emotional resilience. The psychological effects of breath control are well documented. Deep, slow breathing activates the body's relaxation response, reducing the production of stress hormones and promoting a sense of calm. Breath-focused practices have been shown to alleviate symptoms of anxiety, depression, and post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Breathwork is also used in various therapeutic modalities to help individuals process and release stored emotions. Techniques such as holotropic breathwork and integrative breathwork involve intense breathing patterns to access altered states of consciousness and facilitate emotional healing. A growing body of research supports the benefits of breath awareness and control. Studies have shown that regular practice of breath-focused techniques can lower blood pressure, improve heart rate variability, enhance immune function, and reduce symptoms of chronic pain. Ancient philosophies across different cultures have grappled with the concept of self and other. In Eastern traditions such as Hinduism and Buddhism, the notion of an individual self is often seen as an illusion. The Hindu concept of Atman, the true self, is understood as being one with Brahman, the universal consciousness. In Buddhism, the doctrine of anatta non-self teaches that the self is not a permanent, unchanging entity, but a collection of ever-changing physical and mental components. In contrast, ancient Greek philosophers like Plato and Aristotle had different views on the self. Plato believed in the existence of an eternal soul, distinct from the physical body, which pre-exists and survives beyond bodily death. Aristotle, on the other hand, saw the self as the soul or essence of a person, which is realized through rational activity and moral virtue. Modern philosophy has continued to explore the nature of self and other, often questioning the very existence of a distinct self. Existentialist philosophers like Jean-Paul Sartre argued that the self is not a fixed entity, but is continually created through actions and choices. Phenomenologists like Edmund Husserl and Maurice Merleau-Ponty emphasize the embodied nature of the self, suggesting that our sense of self arises from our physical engagement with the world. Postmodern thinkers such as Michel Foucault and Jacques Derrida have deconstructed the idea of a unified self, proposing that identity is fragmented and influenced by social and cultural contexts. These perspectives challenge the traditional notion of a coherent, autonomous self and highlight the fluid and relational nature of identity. The development of a sense of self begins in early childhood. According to developmental psychologists like Jean Piaget and Erik Erikson, the sense of self emerges through stages of cognitive and social development. Infants initially have a limited sense of self, but through interactions with caregivers and the environment, they begin to develop self-awareness and a sense of personal identity. Erikson's stages of psychosocial development highlight the importance of social relationships in forming the self. Each stage presents a challenge that influences the individual's sense of identity, from trust versus mistrust in infancy to integrity versus despair in old age. These interactions with others shape our self-concept and our understanding of our place in the world. The concept of the other is crucial in psychological theories of identity. Intersubjective theories, such as those proposed by psychoanalysts like Sigmund Freud and Jacques Lacan, suggest that our sense of self is formed through relationships with others. Freud's model of the psyche involves the interaction of the ID, ego, and superego, where the superego represents internalized societal norms and expectations learned from significant others. Lacan's mirror stage theory posits that infants develop a sense of self by recognizing their reflection in a mirror. This recognition creates a sense of distinction between the self and others, but it also introduces a lifelong quest for an ideal self-image influenced by external perceptions. Attachment theory, developed by John Bowlby and Mary Ainsworth, further emphasizes the role of early relationships in shaping the self. Secure attachments in childhood lead to a stable sense of self, while insecure attachments can result in a fragmented or unstable self-concept. Neuroscience has provided valuable insights into how the brain constructs the sense of self. The default mode network DMN, a network of interconnected brain regions, is active when we engage in self-referential thinking and introspection. Studies have shown that the DMN is involved in processing autobiographical memories, envisioning the future, and understanding others' perspectives. Research on brain injuries and disorders has also shed light on the neural basis of self-identity. Conditions like depersonalization disorder, where individuals feel detached from their own body and thoughts, suggest that specific brain regions are crucial for maintaining a coherent sense of self. Similarly, patients with damage to the prefrontal cortex often exhibit changes in personality and self-awareness, highlighting the role of this region in self-identity. Empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others, is another aspect of the self-other relationship that has been studied extensively in neuroscience. Mirror neurons, discovered in the 1990s, are believed to play a key role in empathy. These neurons fire both when we perform an action and when we observe someone else performing the same action, suggesting a neural basis for understanding others' experiences. Functional magnetic resonance imaging fMRI studies have shown that regions such as the anterior insular and the anterior cingulate cortex are activated when we experience empathy. These findings indicate that our brains are wired to connect with others and that the boundaries between self and other are more fluid than we might assume. In Hinduism, the concept of self-Atman is integral to understanding the illusion of separation. Atman is the true self, the eternal essence that is one with Brahman, the ultimate reality. The perceived separation between self and other is seen as Maya, an illusion that arises from ignorance. Practices such as meditation, yoga, and devotion are aimed at realizing the unity of Atman and Brahman, thereby dissolving the illusion of separateness. Buddhism, on the other hand, teaches the doctrine of anatta non-self, which posits that there is no permanent, unchanging self. Instead, what we consider the self is a collection of 5 aggregates: form, sensation, perception, mental formations, and consciousness. By understanding the impermanent and interdependent nature of these aggregates, practitioners can overcome attachment and suffering, realizing the interconnectedness of all beings. Taoism, an ancient Chinese philosophy, emphasizes living in harmony with the Tao, the fundamental principle that underlies and unites all of existence. The Tao is beyond description and cannot be fully understood through intellectual reasoning. Taoist practices, such as meditation, Tai Chi, and Qigong, aim to align individuals with the natural flow of the Tao, transcending the illusion of a separate self. Zen Buddhism, a school of Mahayana Buddhism that developed in China and Japan, also challenges the notion of a distinct self. Through practices like Zazen seated meditation and Koan study meditative questioning, Zen practitioners seek direct experiences of reality that transcend conceptual thinking. These practices help dissolve the duality of self and other, revealing the inherent unity of all existence. Greek philosophers, such as Plato and Aristotle, laid the foundation for Western thought on the self and other. Plato's theory of form suggests that the material world is a reflection of a higher, eternal reality. The soul, or true self, belongs to this higher realm and is temporarily housed in the physical body. Plato's allegory of the cave illustrates how individuals can transcend the illusion of the material world and realize their true nature. Aristotle, in contrast, focused on the self as an integrated whole, with the soul as the essence that actualizes the body's potential. He emphasized the importance of rationality and virtue in achieving eudaimonia, or human flourishing. For Aristotle, the self is realized through social interactions and the fulfillment of one's potential within the community. Modern Western philosophy has continued to explore the nature of self and other through various lenses. Existentialists like Jean-Paul Sartre argued that the self is not a fixed essence but is continually created through actions and choices. Sartre's concept of being for itself highlights the fluid and dynamic nature of self-identity. Phenomenologists like Edmund Husserl and Maurice Merleau-Ponty emphasize the embodied nature of the self. According to Husserl, the self is constituted through intentional acts of consciousness, while Merleau-Ponty focused on the role of the body in shaping our experience of the world. Their work highlights the interconnectedness of self and other through embodied interactions. Postmodern thinkers such as Michel Foucault and Jacques Derrida deconstructed the idea of a unified self, proposing that identity is fragmented and influenced by social and cultural contexts. Foucault's analysis of power relations and Derrida's concept of difference challenged the notion of a stable, autonomous self, emphasizing the fluid and relational nature of identity. Mystical experiences, often described in spiritual traditions worldwide, involve a profound sense of unity and interconnectedness that transcends the ordinary sense of self. These experiences can occur spontaneously or through practices such as meditation, prayer, and contemplation. Mystics from various traditions, including Christian mystics like Meister Eckhart and Sufi poets like Rumi, have described states of consciousness where the boundaries between self and other dissolve, revealing a deeper reality of oneness. Various spiritual practices aim to help individuals experience the unity of self and other. In addition to meditation and prayer, practices like chanting, drumming, and dancing can induce altered states of consciousness that facilitate the dissolution of the self-other boundary. Rituals and ceremonies, often involving communal participation, also create a sense of shared experience and interconnectedness. Practices such as mindfulness and loving-kindness meditation foster an awareness of interconnectedness and compassion for all beings. By cultivating a non-judgmental awareness of the present moment and extending loving-kindness to oneself and others, practitioners can transcend the illusion of separateness and experience a profound sense of unity. Our perception of reality is shaped by the mind's tendency to categorize and differentiate. Cognitive scientists have shown that the brain uses schemas and mental models to make sense of the world, often creating distinctions between self and other based on sensory input and past experiences. However, these distinctions are not inherent in reality, but are constructed by the mind. Quantum physics also challenges the notion of separateness. The principle of quantum entanglement suggests that particles can be instantaneously connected regardless of distance, implying a fundamental interconnectedness at the quantum level. This scientific insight resonates with the idea that the perceived separation between self and other is an illusion. Various techniques and practices can help individuals transcend dualistic thinking and experience the unity of self and other. Mindfulness practices, such as vipassana meditation, involve observing thoughts, sensations without attachment or aversion, leading to a deeper understanding of the impermanent and interconnected nature of all phenomena. Non-dual awareness practices, such as those taught in Advaita Vedanta and Dzogchen Buddhism, emphasize recognizing the inherent unity of all existence. By shifting from a dualistic perspective to a non-dual awareness, practitioners can experience the dissolution of the self-other boundary and realize their true nature as part of the greater whole. Personal stories of transformation often highlight the profound impact of realizing the illusion of self and other. For example, individuals who have undergone near-death experiences frequently report a sense of unity and interconnectedness with all beings. These experiences can lead to lasting changes in perspective, values, and behavior. Similarly, people who have engaged in intensive meditation retreats or spiritual practices often describe moments of insight where the boundaries between self and other dissolve. These experiences can bring about a deep sense of peace, compassion, and a recognition of the interconnectedness of all life. Throughout history, many notable figures have emphasized the illusion of self and other in their teachings and practices. The Buddha's teachings on anatta, non-self, and interconnectedness form the foundation of Buddhist philosophy. Mystics like Meister Eckhart and Saint Teresa of Avila spoke of experiences of union with the divine that transcended the individual self. Modern spiritual teachers like Ramana Maharshi and Eckhart Tolle have also highlighted the illusion of separateness and the importance of realizing our true nature. Their teachings emphasize self-inquiry, presence, and the direct experience of non-dual awareness. Understanding the illusion of self and other can transform personal relationships by fostering empathy, compassion, and a sense of shared humanity. Recognizing the interconnectedness of all beings can lead to deeper, more authentic connections with others and reduce conflicts based on perceived differences. Practices such as mindful communication and active listening can enhance relationships by promoting understanding and empathy. By being fully present and attentive to others, we can create a space for genuine connection and mutual respect. Transcending the self-other dichotomy has profound implications for society and global issues. Recognizing our interconnectedness can inspire a greater sense of responsibility for the well-being of all beings on the planet. This shift in perspective can lead to more compassionate and sustainable approaches to social, economic, and environmental challenges. Movements such as social and environmental justice often emphasize the interconnectedness of all life and the importance of addressing systemic issues that impact marginalized communities and the natural world. By embracing the unity of self and other, we can work towards creating a more just, equitable, and harmonious world. The concept of alienation has deep roots in philosophical and sociological thought. In the works of Karl Marx, alienation is a central theme, particularly in the context of labor. Marx argued that in capitalist societies, workers become alienated from the products of their labor, from the act of production, from their fellow workers, and from their own human potential. This alienation results from the exploitative nature of capitalist production, where the worker's labor is commodified and controlled by the capitalist class. Hegel, a precursor to Marx, also discussed alienation in his philosophical works, focusing on the alienation of spirit and consciousness. For Hegel, alienation arises when individuals fail to recognize their true nature and potential, resulting in a sense of estrangement from themselves and the world. The Industrial Revolution marked a significant turning point in the history of alienation. The shift from agrarian economies to industrial production brought profound changes to social structures and individual lives. Workers moved from rural areas to urban centers, where they often faced harsh working conditions, long hours, and low wages. This period saw the rise of factory work, which was characterized by repetitive tasks and a lack of personal fulfillment. The mechanization of labor further exacerbated feelings of alienation, as workers were reduced to mere cogs in the industrial machine. The loss of control over the production process and the commodification of labor led to a profound sense of disconnection from one's work and identity. In the contemporary era, technological advancements and globalization have continued to shape the experience of alienation. The rise of digital technology, automation, and artificial intelligence has transformed the nature of work and social interactions. While these advancements offer numerous benefits, they also pose challenges to human connection and fulfillment. Globalization has led to increased economic interdependence and cultural exchange, but it has also contributed to the homogenization of cultures and the erosion of local communities. The pressure to compete in a global market can exacerbate feelings of alienation as individuals struggle to find their place in an increasingly complex and interconnected world. Alienation profoundly impacts personal identity and self-concept. When individuals feel disconnected from their true selves and their surroundings, they may struggle with a fragmented sense of identity. This disconnection can lead to confusion, self-doubt, and a lack of purpose. In modern society, where social roles and expectations are constantly changing, maintaining a coherent sense of self can be particularly challenging. Erik Erikson's theory of psychosocial development highlights the importance of social relationships in shaping identity. Each stage of development involves a crisis that must be resolved for healthy identity formation. When individuals experience alienation, they may struggle to navigate these crises, leading to an unstable or negative self-concept. The relationship between alienation and mental health is well documented. Alienation is associated with a range of mental health issues, including depression, anxiety, and loneliness. When individuals feel disconnected from others and their environment, they may experience a sense of hopelessness and despair. This can manifest in symptoms such as persistent sadness, fatigue, and a lack of motivation. Loneliness, a key aspect of alienation, has been linked to a range of negative health outcomes, including increased risk of cardiovascular disease, cognitive decline, and mortality. The rise of social media and digital communication has paradoxically contributed to feelings of loneliness, as virtual interactions often lack the depth and intimacy of face-to-face connections. Alienation affects cognitive processes and emotional well-being. Individuals who feel alienated may experience cognitive distortions such as negative self-talk, overgeneralization, and catastrophizing. These cognitive patterns can reinforce feelings of isolation and disconnection, creating a vicious cycle of alienation and negative thinking. Emotional alienation can lead to a sense of emptiness and numbness. When individuals feel disconnected from their emotions and experiences, they may struggle to find meaning and fulfillment in life. This emotional disconnection can contribute to a range of psychological issues, including alexithymia, difficulty identifying and expressing emotions, and emotional dysregulation. Urbanization has been a significant driver of alienation in modern society. As people migrate to urban centers in search of economic opportunities, traditional community structures often disintegrate. The anonymity and fast pace of urban life can make it difficult to form meaningful connections with others. Urban environments are characterized by high levels of mobility and transience, which can exacerbate feelings of isolation. The breakdown of extended family networks and communal support systems further contributes to social disconnection. In contrast, rural communities, while facing their own challenges, often have stronger social bonds and a greater sense of belonging. The modern work environment plays a crucial role in the experience of alienation. Many contemporary jobs involve repetitive tasks, limited autonomy, and a lack of meaningful engagement. The rise of the gig economy and precarious employment has also contributed to job insecurity and stress, further exacerbating feelings of alienation. Workplace culture can also influence alienation. Environments that prioritize competition and individual achievement over collaboration and collective well-being can foster a sense of disconnection among employees. Conversely, workplaces that emphasize teamwork, purpose, and employee well-being can mitigate feelings of alienation and promote a sense of belonging. Media and consumer culture have a profound impact on societal values and individual alienation. The pervasive influence of advertising and media often promotes unrealistic ideals and superficial values, leading to feelings of inadequacy and disconnection. The constant bombardment of messages about success, beauty, and happiness can create a sense of inadequacy and alienation among individuals who feel they cannot live up to these standards. The universe is unimaginably vast, encompassing billions of galaxies, each containing billions of stars and planets. To grasp the scale, consider that light from the nearest star, Proxima Centauri, takes over 4 years to reach us, traveling at 299,792 kilometers per second. Our Milky Way galaxy alone spans about 100,000 light years across. Beyond our galaxy lie countless others, some billions of light years away. This immense scale can evoke feelings of awe and wonder, but also insignificance and humility. The age of the universe is estimated at approximately 13.8 billion years. In contrast, human history occupies a mere blink of cosmic time. Life on Earth began around 3.8 billion years ago, and Homo sapiens emerged only about 300,000 years ago. Understanding this timeline highlights the brevity of human existence and the long evolutionary journey that preceded us. It can shift our focus from individual lifespans to the broader, ongoing processes of life in the cosmos. Historically, humans believed Earth was the center of the universe, geocentrism. This view was challenged by Copernicus, who proposed heliocentrism, the idea that Earth orbits the sun. This paradigm shift not only transformed our scientific understanding, but also had profound philosophical implications. It moved humanity from a position of cosmic centrality to one of humility, recognizing that we are part of a much larger system. Carl Sagan's reflection on the pale blue dot image, a photograph of Earth taken from the Voyager 1 spacecraft from a distance of about 6 billion kilometers, poignantly captures the cosmic perspective. He describes Earth as a mote of dust suspended in a sunbeam, emphasizing the fragility and unity of our planet. This perspective encourages a sense of global responsibility and underscores the triviality of human conflicts in the grand scheme of things. Astronauts who have viewed Earth from space often describe a profound cognitive shift, known as the overview effect. This experience evokes a sense of the planet's unity and the interconnectedness of all life. Seeing Earth as a small, fragile oasis in the vastness of space fosters a deeper sense of connection and responsibility toward our home and each other. This perspective can inspire a commitment to environmental stewardship and global cooperation. The cosmic perspective reveals the interconnectedness of all things. Every atom in our bodies was forged in the heart of a star, highlighting our physical connection to the cosmos. This interconnectedness extends to the web of life on Earth, where all living beings are part of a complex, interdependent ecosystem. Recognizing this unity can foster a sense of oneness and diminish feelings of alienation. Contemplating the vastness and complexity of the universe can evoke existential questions about meaning and purpose. While the cosmic perspective might initially seem to diminish human significance, it can also offer a deeper sense of purpose. Understanding that we are part of an ongoing dynamic process of cosmic evolution can provide a sense of belonging and continuity. It suggests that our actions, though small, contribute to the larger tapestry of life in the universe. The cosmic perspective encourages us to look beyond the confines of our individual selves and consider our place in a broader context. This shift can alleviate the ego's preoccupations and foster a sense of humility. By seeing ourselves as part of the universe's unfolding story, we can transcend narrow self-interests and cultivate a more expansive, inclusive sense of identity. The search for extraterrestrial life is a key aspect of the cosmic perspective. Astrobiology explores the potential for life beyond Earth, examining extreme environments on our planet and searching for biosignatures on other worlds. Discovering life elsewhere would profoundly impact our understanding of life's diversity and resilience, reinforcing the idea that we are part of a vast, interconnected web of life. Cosmology, the study of the universe's origin, structure, and evolution, offers insights that reshape our understanding of existence. The Big Bang Theory, for example, describes the universe's birth from a singularity and its subsequent expansion. This understanding highlights the dynamic, ever-changing nature of the cosmos and our place within it. It suggests that the universe is not a static backdrop, but an evolving entity in which we play a part. Quantum physics reveals a fundamental interconnectedness at the microscopic level. Phenomena such as entanglement suggest that particles can be instantaneously connected across vast distances, challenging classical notions of separateness. This interconnectedness resonates with spiritual and philosophical ideas of unity and oneness, bridging the gap between science and spirituality. Viewing Earth from a cosmic perspective emphasizes the planet's uniqueness and fragility. It underscores the need for environmental stewardship and sustainable living. Recognizing that we are part of an interconnected web of life can inspire efforts to protect ecosystems, conserve resources, and address climate change. This perspective fosters a sense of responsibility to preserve our home for future generations. The cosmic perspective transcends national and cultural boundaries, highlighting our shared humanity. It can inspire global cooperation to address common challenges such as poverty, inequality, and conflict. By recognizing that we are all inhabitants of the same small planet, we can work together to create a more just, peaceful, and sustainable world. On a personal level, the cosmic perspective can be transformative. It can foster a sense of awe and wonder, inspiring curiosity and a desire to explore. It can also promote humility, gratitude, and a sense of purpose. By shifting our focus from individual concerns to the broader context of life in the universe, we can cultivate a more balanced, fulfilling approach to life. Artists and writers have long drawn inspiration from the cosmos, exploring themes of interconnectedness, wonder, and the search for meaning. From Vincent van Gogh's Starry Night to the writings of Jorge Luis Borges, cosmic imagery has been used to evoke a sense of mystery and transcendence. Art and literature can help convey the cosmic perspective, making abstract concepts tangible and emotionally resonant. Music, too, can reflect the cosmic perspective. Composers like Gustav Holst in The Planets and contemporary artists inspired by the sounds of space and the universe create works that evoke the majesty and mystery of the cosmos. Music can transcend linguistic and cultural barriers, fostering a shared sense of awe and wonder.